Hello people and welcome back to my channel, and let's learn how to use protocol buffer in Java using the Gradle build tool. So basically we will be using Google protocol buffer to define some contract in our Java application, and we'll be using Gradle as the medium to create the Java application. So let's understand what we are going to do. So there are some prerequisites that needs to be fulfilled, and first thing is what Java must be installed. So you need to have Java installed on your operating system, whether it is Windows, Linux or Mac. Java is a necessary thing. Then we need to understand that what is a proto file and what is Google protocol buffer. So the protocol buffer is a contract defining ecosystem where you define a contract for your client and server. So basically you define a contract between your client and server, and then both client and server understands and communicate with the contract boundary. So let's say you create a API, so there will be a request there and there will be a response. So you define a contract for the request and you also define a contract for the response, and both client and server needs to work within that boundary. This is the file where service definition and message contracts are defined for the gRPC. So gRPC is a server and you define the message contract using proto file, and you define the service definition also using this proto file. So let's take the definition of a service and a message contract. So let's say you want to define a service where you are exposing a create user method, and then the request, incoming request is the create user request, and the outgoing response is the create user response. So this is a RPC, like you can say create user is a RPC, and this create user request and create user response are the actual contracts. So basically in gRPC terms or in Google protocol buffer, a service is defined using the service keyword and then the name of the service, and then there is a RPC, which is also a keyword to define the actual service method. And here we have given the name as create user, and these are the two messages, that is, it is using create user request and returns the create user response. So you can see here, this is create user request and this is create user response. Here we are defining the error because error is not a primitive data type in Google protocol buffer. This is a message that is user defined, that we will define. So that's why we need to define this error message or error contract also. The next thing is we will generate Java class from the proto file. So we'll define the proto files and then you need to generate the Java classes. Java does not understand proto files. Like if you give a proto file to a Java application, it can do nothing. It will give a compilation error. But you need to generate the Java classes from these proto files using the proto compiler, and then those Java classes can be understood by your Java application by using some jar files or by using some libraries. So proto compiler is used to generate the Java classes from the proto files. Let's say you have multiple proto files, so you need to download this proto compiler which will consume these proto files and then generate the Java classes for you. We will use the Google protobuf Gradle plugin to orchestrate this process, like downloading the proto compiler, then basically consuming the proto files and then generating the Java classes. Everything will be done using this protobuf Gradle plugin, and we will use it from the GitHub repository of Google, that is google/protobuf Gradle plugin. Then you need to define the protobuf task, and here you need to define some configurations, like from where you will be getting the proto compiler. So here we are getting it from com.google.protobuf. So from here we are downloading the compiler in real time, and then we are using this proto gen gRPC Java jar file to basically generate the Java classes for us. And this is like you need to generate the proto task all plugin gRPC. So this is a configuration for this protobuf task. So as we will require a Java project, so let's first create a Java project for us. If you want to learn that what are the different ways in which you can create a Java Hello World application, or like in different integrated development environment like Eclipse, NetBeans, IntelliJ, Visual Studio Code, and using Gradle and Maven, how you can create a Java application. So you can follow this blog which I'll put in the description, and here I'll be adding new contents for different IDEs. So this one is for Visual Studio Code. If you don't know like how you can create a Java project in Visual Studio Code, then you can use this. In our case, what we are going to do, we'll open the Visual Studio Code, and then I am using the WSL of Ubuntu basically on Windows for my development environment. So first I'm going to do what? I will click on view and then on command palette, and here I'll type Java. So this will give me the first option of create Java project, and then it will ask me to select the build tools, or like which build tool I'll use. So I'll use Gradle, I've selected it, and then I need to select the folder. So I'll go to workspace and then the YouTube playground, and here I don't find a folder. So let me create it first. So what I'm going to do is I'll go to the terminal here, and inside this YouTube playground, so I'll create mkdir Java protocol buffer, and if I do ls here, so what you will see that Java protocol buffer folder is present. Now I'll come again to Visual Studio Code, I'll go one folder up, and again if I go to YouTube playground, so here you can see Java protocol buffer folder is there. I'll click on OK. Then what I need to do here is basically it is giving an error, reconnect Java client. Okay, it has been connected. Then I'll select the build script DSL. So I'll select Groovy and then the project name. So this is Java protocol buffer. I'll hit enter, and here at the bottom you can see it is creating my Gradle project. So once it is created, it will ask me to open it. So you can see I got a open button here. I'll click on it, and you can see here that the Java project is present here. Now I'll just close these files which were previously open. So this is my directory structure. So you can see here that at the top we have app folder where my app related things are present, means all things related to my app where I'm going to work is present here. So you can see main Java, and then Java protocol buffer, and then app.java resources file is here, and then build.gradle file is also here. So this is build.gradle file, and here we'll do all the configuration for our project. So here what we are seeing that we will use this protobuf Gradle plugin to do all the orchestration process, and we need to define this task. So let's download, or let's do this setting of protobuf Gradle plugin. So I'll go to the browser here. I will open a new terminal and search for protobuf Gradle plugin. So this is the first link which is present here for Gradle, this protobuf Gradle plugin, and you can go through the whole documentation, read about it. What I'm interested in is in this particular line, that is, this is the line to add a plugin. So I'll come to my project again, and in the plugin section I'll define it. So this is my plugin section where I'm going to define this part. Now the next part is what I need to define this particular construct of the protobuf task. So this is the protobuf task configuration that I am doing. I'll explain it again here, that this is the line that tells like from where I'll get the proto compiler which will help my .proto files to compile it into Java classes. And then basically this is the Java library, or you can say Java jar file, which will help me to generate the Java classes. Okay, so this is the this configuration has been done. So we have done till here and everything is working fine. Now let's go to the next part is what, once Java files are generated, then we need libraries to understand those generated classes. So there are some libraries which we need to add into our build.gradle, which will help you to understand the Java classes, and then only you can use it, because the newly generated Java classes will contain some new classes, new interface, new variables which the Java JVM doesn't know. So we need to include some jar files where those definitions are present, and then only we can use it. So let's see how we can add this. So first thing is what, we need to add gRPC netty. So I'll go to the browser again, and here I'm going to Maven repo. So inside the Maven repo, this is the first link. I'll click here and I'll just search for these libraries. So these are the libraries, and these are what, gRPC netty. So I'll say gRPC netty, and this is here. I'll hit enter, and you can see gRPC netty is the first link. I'll click on the most latest version which has been released, and I'll click on the Gradle. So there's a Maven configuration also, and there's a Gradle. We are interested in the Gradle configuration. So I'll do Command C or Control C, whatever is there, and inside the dependencies, what I'm going to do, I'll add it. So let's add this part. Next thing is what, in the slide it is gRPC protobuf. Same way, I'll again go to the Maven repository and I'll say gRPC protobuf. So same way, gRPC protobuf, and I'll hit enter. So this will give me the first result here. I'll again click on the first link, which is the latest version. I'll copy it and again paste it there. So same way I'll do it for others. So this is gRPC stuff. So all the three dependencies are present. So let's go to our slide and do the next thing, that is what, build the Gradle application. But before building that, we need to add the proto file from which will generate the Java classes. The most important thing here to understand is what this Google Protobuf plugin, from where it will read the proto files automatically. So that is present where inside the main folder we will create a new folder, and that folder will be called what, proto folder. So this is the folder where this plugin will basically read all the files and try to generate the Java classes. So we have created the folder here, and I'll create a new file, and that will be user management.proto. So this is the proto file. So .proto is the extension that we use. Once the user management.proto file is created, then we need to write our contract. So in the slide we know that we'll create this service and then we need to write this contract. So let's start writing the contract into our proto file. So I'll go to the proto file, and the first thing that we need to write is the syntax, like which syntax we are going to use. So I'll say syntax equal to proto 3. So this is the syntax, and then what we need to do, we need to say option and then Java multiple classes equal to true. So what this option does is what, when there are multiple proto files, so it will create multiple Java classes file. So that makes easy for us to understand like which all builder classes are created, and it is also easy to read. Otherwise what the proto compiler will do, it will basically write everything into a single file. So once this configuration is done, so the next configuration is package name. So we'll say package equal to the package name is what, like how the Java classes that are generated you want to refer it. So in our case we'll say com.cwrr, that is code with Raj Ranjan, and then user management. So this is our package name. Now the next thing is what, we need to define our contract. So first thing is what, we need to define message and then create user. So this is create user request, and this is like automatically generated because I'm using this code DM tool which is the AI tool that helps you to generate the code. So it is name, email and password. Let's see what are there. So it is first name, last name, email, password and created at. So let's change it. So it is basically first name, and then it is basically last name, and then finally at the third place it will be email. So I'll change it email, and then we will write password. So password will be the fourth number, and then we'll say created at. So it will be created at equal to fifth number. So this is the first contract that we are writing for create user request. We will define create user response contract, and the create user response contract will be what, we will define it as bool success, and then we have the second part, that is the error. So we are going to define a error message for us. This will be the second, and then we will be having string user ID. So let's say when we create a new user, so what will happen, you need to return the user ID of that user. So this is the user ID. The third thing is what, we need to define the error contract. So error will be code and then entity and then message. So here we'll say code, and then the message will be at the third, and then string entity will be equal to second. So this is the message contract. The third thing is what, we need to define the service. So the service is what, we need to define service, and then basically it will be user management service, and the RPC will be what, create user, which will accept the create user request and then return the create user response. We have done all the configuration in our build.gradle file. So let's now build the project. So for building the project we'll use Gradle clean build, and this will also generate the Java classes for us. So let's go to our terminal. So I'm going to the terminal and I'll type ls and then cd Java protocol buffer and Gradle, and then clean and then build. So let's see what happens. So what it is doing, it is saying proto user management proto expected this one. So I think this is the case. So let me build it again, and here you can see, so we got this error, that is javax annotation generated. Okay, so for fixing this error we need to add a new package to our build.gradle file, or you can say a new dependency, and this will be this one, javax annotation API. So let's go to the terminal again, and here build this file again. So this time you can see that everything is working fine, app test is 0 and test failed. So the test is not working, that is fine, but what went wrong, app.test is failing. So let's see, did we get any build tool or not. Okay, so the build file is generated, and then you can go to generated, and then source gRPC user management service is generated, and you can see all the builder classes and everything are also generated. So you can see here, this is the service generation, and this is the basically the builder file generation or the Java classes generation. So we have successfully generated the Java classes from our proto file. Now if you want to use it, go to app.java, create user request dot new builder, and then we can say dot set first name will be equal to what, let's say Raj, and then finally we will do set last name equal to Ranjan, and then we can also set dot, you can do what, set email equal to something, selftuts @ gmail.com, and then you can build the object dot build. So this is how you can use the newly generated Java classes. This is the builder file. So I think you have understood the video that we created a user management.proto file, and this proto file is not understood by the Java. You need to generate the Java classes, and this is the Java class generations. So basically the create user response is there, create user request is there. So same way you can see everything is generated, the error builder, error Java, everything is generated, and you are able to use it because you are using these dependencies, and these dependencies understand like what are these Java classes which you generated from your proto file. So hope you like this video, hope you like my channel. Please subscribe to my channel and please share these videos with other people. Thank you.